Sometimes in life, if you want to get to the truth, you have to look at the numbers. Unfortunately, 50% of all dogs over 10 years old will die of cancer, and the other 40 to 50% suffer miserably from skin issues or joint problems. And this is widely attributed to your dog's diet. These numbers are what inspired Dr. Dennis Black to create Rough Greens. With thousands of testimonials and 5-star reviews every month, Rough Greens is now the #1 all-natural dog supplement in America. They've helped millions of pups, like mine, stay active and be healthy. And your pup could be next. Fetch a free Jumpstart trial bag for your dog today. You just cover shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. Just use promo code DISCO. That's RUFFGREENS.com. Promo code DISCO. You don't have to change your dog's food to improve your dog's health. Just add a scoop of Rough Greens. The first one, the marked mailbags from Dale M. Fortunio. One and done is his subject. Sup, fellas? A few years ago, I asked you all about an AEW match that didn't appear to have a great build, and your response were that they will have good matches. In hindsight, you were right. Matches occur. And your responses were they will have good matches. All right. In hindsight, you were right. Matches should occur. However, this company over the past year has had multiple Big 5 field matches take place where the bout ends in a roll-up. After that finish, a feud is over. Take a look with Monet with Hayter and even Storm with Bane. I can remember more than one roll-up taking place per year for an upset victory about 30 years ago, and even when that happened, it was made to enhance a feud. Konnan said it best years ago. Someone needs to go over or someone else, but Tony Khan always wants that good try pat on the back for the person losing. Hence why every match is a full sitcom episode. My question is, how often, while you were booking, did you think a roll-up was the right move to close without a feud? Bonus, I watched the Three Stooges the other night with Mo, Larry, and Curly pretending to sing in front of a crowd at a party. It was better than any angle AEW's had. What was your 3 favorite Stooges episodes for all 3 of you and not Harry? So Harry's not here, Dale. I don't have a favorite Stooges episode that you long ago to remember.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that episode when I was a kid, especially in syndication, probably some of the movies, but it's so long ago I can't remember. Yeah,
I saw them, but then for a while they were playing Three Stooges on TNT or TBS, I believe, like late at night after a movie, right? They'd play 1 or 2 shorts, and I recorded them, and I forgot how funny they were. But anytime, and I'm sure you guys saw these, anytime they had a food fight, that was excellent. And I always loved when they would go out on a date, and Curly would get like the biggest girl, and she always out-ate him and smacked him in the face, and then smacked the other 2 Stooges too. I liked those.
Yeah, I don't remember any of them, but I do want to ask. Yeah, roll-up is never like a move like to close out a feud.
Ever. It's
like it's a culmination that it should be a big crescendo building up to the finish of a big match, not a roll-up. You know, I mean, I don't know what, that's weird. Next is from Eddie Nicholas from Los Angeles, California. My question is for Konnan. Now that WWE is involved with AAA, will we see one-off appearances like we did at last year's Triple Mania in the Battle Royal, where guys like Kenzo Suzuki and Mark Jindrak showed up? Also, is there any interest from AAA or from Tejano Jr. himself about him potentially coming back? His run as Mega Champion was outstanding, and his feud with Alberto was one of the best. That rivalry even carried over into Lucha Underground. It really stood out as one of the top storylines of that era. Thanks as always for the content. Fill me in on the Tejano Jr. versus Alberto Del Rio angle, Konnan.
I don't remember because when I was that might have been a rivalry from 2012, maybe, because when I came back to AAA, Alberto wasn't there yet, right? And I think Tejano and Alberto would have great matches together. Both, second generation wrestlers, and both have good size, both can work really good. I had mentioned Tejano Jr. a couple months ago, but right now, we don't really need anybody. Like, our business is on fire, bro.
Yeah. Next, some Big Rig from Mid-Atlantic. You know what's funny, too?
Yep.
Is somebody was quoted that, because I was, like you saw what the last week's Dynamite did, the rating, right?
Yeah, really good.
Really, really good. And so I had a theory of why it did good. Okay. I don't think we've talked about this, have we?
No, we have not. We have not.
So what's your theory why it did good?
Because they knew it was in Mexico and it was going to be a big show and a good show, and they, that's what I thought. What do you?
And I think that there's enough of Mexicans here right now,
right,
that don't live here, that they can't watch Mexican wrestling. They hear that there's a show from from what you call
Mexico, Arena Mexico.
From Arena Mexico, and like probably a lot of let's watch this, right?
Right.
But to me, to me, the big winner in this was the AAA WWE marriage.
Right.
Because now, what if WWE takes a show and does a show with a AAA show in Mexico with WWE talent?
Or they do a PLE.
You think they'll do a good number?
Right.
Based on like that number speaks of like, okay, wow, there is a big Latin audience or no lucha audience.
Right.
Lucha audience. Not just, just a lucha libre fans, so but it's funny because
that's what we kind of started in the 90s. Look where it's gone.
Right.
You were in the middle of all of that.
Yeah. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for all your sports betting action. Baseball season is in full swing, and we're into the home stretch for NBA and NHL playoffs, and there's more ways to stay in on the action with the latest odds, news and scores, even live in-game betting while the games are being played, with the largest selection of odds on everything from the MLB, NHL, and UFC. And in between games, head over to the BetOnline Casino and all the top Vegas-style games, including poker and live casino action. So BetOnline, the game starts here. Next one's from DC Big Oso Ya. This is the last one. The subject is AEW Grand Slam Mexico. Hey guys, hope all is well in your lives. My question today is, have you seen Tony Khan's version of Worlds Collide? And could you give me your honest, objective opinion of the overall production and show itself? Thank you much in advance. Viva La Iguana. Well, we'll AC AEW Grand Slam Mexico. You know why AEW Grand Slam Mexico did a good number 2?
Why?
It's because they promoted like a pay-per-view.
It was unique.
They did like a month worth of promotion for it too, and it's unique, Like I said, their big shows always do well. When they promote something that's like a big deal, like this thing seemed like a bigger deal than their regular weekly TV. So it did better numbers. But the funny thing is like watching Dave talk about how this is the turn that they've turned the corner. Like this is like I'm like, dude, this is an outlier show. They went down to like you drew in Mexico. It's like now you got to go back to the States and do your weekly TV here, and you should see put some better matchups on TV going forward. And sure enough, Collision was terrible again. They followed up with another boring Collision. So I don't know.
People like to see promotions mix up and fight each other and all that. Plus, I mean, putting a show in an international venue. Remember that Global Force, the Tokyo Dome? That did huge numbers. It was in another country. It was promoted great and had a lot of talent. And that's what AEW showed.
Well, here's the thing is too with AEW is their top guys right now that they're centering most of their TV on are actually really good performers, and they're all good on the mic. Hangman, MJF.
What do you think of Hangman Spanish?
Hangman Spanish?
Yeah,
it was whatever. But the thing is bro, they just still seem like they're not in the same league as the WWE guys top stars.
They're not.
And it's like, but they're doing decent television.
It isn't that it doesn't seem they're not.
Right. It's like you got to get like everybody's talking about.
They're the NFL. Bottom line. Yeah. Anything else is USFL, XFL. You know what I'm saying? It's the bottom line. The best are there.
Right.
They have a lot of good people, but they don't know how to use them. So what's the sense of having so many good people if you don't utilize them right? So they're almost like a Ferrari with a flat tire, 2 flat tires at that.
Well, like we talked about last week, like the Hurt business has been around for like 6 months now, and they still haven't had a significant feud with the credible opponents.
With nobody, absolutely nobody, just people they're going to beat.
Right.
And why is MJF even with them? They don't need him, and he doesn't need them.
Like this would have been a good spot for MJF.
Huh?
MJF Bobby Lashley angle is what I thought we were going to. Now, it's like I don't know. So I don't know. And maybe they still might be going there. We don't know because they have long-term booking.
Right.
But, yeah.
And they got a lot of smart people in that crew, so they might come up with something. You got to admit, if there's 2 people in that show, and MJF is in a lot of stuff I don't like, but sometimes as an employee, you have to do what the boss wants, right?
Right.
But I think between the Hurt business and MJF, who know how to take care of themselves, they should be doing better storylines.
Right. Did you see this? Did you see this? So AEW online, they posted a thing of the spot where MJF ran the ropes and then like pelvic thrusted Mystico in the face. Right. He went back and forth. Okay. And they did like a silhouette. And the AEW on TV showed that on their account.
Right.
I put, why are you posting this? Because it looks so stupid, right?
Right.
And they took it down. So I think
That's great.
he's hysterical, right?
Wow.
But bro, that seriously, that just shows you how like the vast difference in companies too is whoever runs their social media and AEW is completely utterly clueless. They're putting spots where it looks completely fake. You know, just like there's nothing that would promote your product sometimes. And they do a bunch of GIFs. Like, you know, the guy doesn't even know how to, crop the clips and post like a 2-minute spot on there to show what's happening. Like AEW, bro, you can
Know how to
follow
do that.
WWE you can follow WWE Raw or SmackDown as the show's going on. Every 5 to 10 minutes, WWE social media site will post the clip of good stuff that just happened. And like, you don't have to watch the show; you just want to watch your thing. And it's like it's all good stuff, you know. So I
Well,
don't
they're
know.
just on another level. I've been backstage AEW and WWE. They are just on another level in everything. They hire the
Right.
best. They're very professional.
Right.
They got a lot of money. They got I mean, that place is
You got to hear this thing that I commented on because I got a lot of comments on this too.
yeah.
Somebody tweeted to Dave. We always got to do our Dave Meltzer clips. Okay. How can you honestly say that Tony Storm has the best gimmick in wrestling? TK could have all the WWE stars and he would still be number 2 because of his horrible booking.
That's
And
what I always say.
then Dave said if he had all the WWE stars, he'd easily be number 1. Silly to think otherwise. Also, not paying attention to 2025, I see. And then this guy says, I don't believe it, Dave. He's vindictive and doesn't forgive like Vince. Cody would immediately self-sabotage himself out of the company like he did the first time. Tony Khan doesn't listen to fans when it comes to major booking decisions. And then Dave says, I swear he said this. If you are arguing Vince in this decade was a better booker than Tony, that's actually hilarious. Okay? Like he thinks Tony Khan is booked better than Vince McMahon, right?
Right.
So I said, right, Tony is, and this is true, Tony is the worst booker in history based on year-over-year data in ratings and attendance. If he had to answer to a boss, he would have been fired a few years ago. Nobody with common sense can argue against it. Do you agree with that comment?
Yeah.
I mean, they've lost like 10% of their audience every single year. Like, how do you think, like seriously? Like, how
Bro,
did,
Dave actually
that's
said that Tony was a better booker than
Vince McMahon this decade. Bro, he thinks Tony's booking's great. And I'm like, dude, you're not measuring it by any relevant stat. Attendance and ratings. That's all that matters. Not, bro, these guys still think cage matches is a thing. Like, you can't find a successful promoter in history that just didn't care about making as much money as he possibly can, as opposed to reading online what the ratings of the matches. Nobody. I'm like, well, has there ever been a promoter in history that was successful that did that?
that did what?
That like worried about cage match ratings and stuff like that. You've never heard that from people.
But
that are
Tony's the start of, bro, in the independent scene, a lot of them are like that.
right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like an indie promoter, and Dave thinks indie promote I don't know. This is like it's so silly seeing like so much misinformation coming from the dirt sheets. It's ridiculous. So that's been the entire mailbag.
Wow. Enjoy the rest of the show. Boom.
All right. Interesting. What is today? Oh, by the way, Konnan,
Yes.
I'm going on Twitter. There's a Dave just tweeted. So if you want to hurry up and get in on this. Today is the last day for our poll on Friday's Fantastica-Mania. Thumbs up, down, or in the middle, and best and worst match. Email Dave at dave@wrestlingobserver.com.
I didn't see that.
So, bro, they were saying they were having like who's staying in on Friday night and watching CMLL wrestling so you can rate the show.
Yeah, wrestling geek.
It's like,
Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.